Turn your Bluetooth on, it'll automatically join.
Okay.
You'll hear it'll say connected, Ushi.
I hear another language.
Huh?
I hear another language.
Another language?
Mhm.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think Ushi might have grabbed mine. Let's see. No. Nope. Is it working now?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay, we can fix it outside. Let's get going so we're not late. Close the door.
It's okay.
Or not. All right. Like my color-coded keys there, purple, green. Little trick you can do with some nail polish. This saves me some time. And another thing you want to do is, I left some keys with friends because I've locked myself out here once. And yeah, that really just makes things a whole lot easier. Leave a copy of your keys with friends. All mine are, see, red to red. Because we have different keys. We made duplicates, so, you know. Just something quick you can do. Only takes a second. And then you always know what key goes to what. Gotta get on the big bike. It's funny to call a 160 a big bike. But here it's a big bike. 160's plenty. Yeah, I'm getting old. I was thinking about my car the other day, and I don't drive it enough. Like, the gas will go bad if I don't start driving it more. I gotta at least run the gas out every few months. But come on, hop on. But I really it's a great car. It's a 2021, I think, and the prior owner took great things. Has been slowly burning. Took great care of it. AC's freezing, runs great, drives like new. But I did drive it to Cebu, but I much more enjoy riding a scooter. This guy built that property in a few months, just since I've been here. I saw the whole thing go up. He's living in it now. They can build a house here so fast. So, got my gear, heading to jiu-jitsu. It's Thursday night. Been doing jiu-jitsu 23, this is my 23rd year. So I think January will mark 7 months away from 3 years done. I'm in my 23rd year. You know, when I started, I was doing 6 days a week for the first probably 15 years. I was a complete addict. Had a school from like 05 on, I taught. And just left my last school in January when I moved here. And in 05, I had a school in the Philippines called Gracie Cebu. I had a school in St. Augustine and several in Jacksonville that moved over time. But at 51, I just wanted more freedom. I wanted to be able to travel around. So I don't have a school now. And I love the fact that I can just take off, go do whatever I want. Tomorrow's Friday, my daughter graduates from 2nd grade. And Saturday, I'm going to take off and go do what I want. And I don't know how long I'll be gone. And I love having that freedom, man. There's just something about... I miss having a school. That was great. Having students that, you know, were respect you, look up to you, admire you, and you get all three different things, but it can be. These dogs. Love the obelisk. Bobby, are you being facetious? I might be. It's a Catholic country. I gotta respect Catholic views. I do. You're a Catholic. Well, I love the fact that you believe in a God. I love that. That's great. I'd rather see you believe in a God than not believe in a God, because I can prove that there's a God. There's absolutely a God. And I respect you if you're an atheist. Now, see, that's the difference between respect and admire, right? I can respect you and not admire you. I respect everybody and everyone's beliefs and everyone's religions. I was an atheist until, man, it started hitting me in 2015. I think around 20, I don't remember the exact year, but it was probably around 2010. I think my whole journey into being a truther started with Zeitgeist, roughly. Remember, I sat down and watched this movie, and it was a whole compilation of different truths and misguidance. So I think, personally, I think the point of that film was to give just enough truth to gain your trust. You do that. You throw out a hook of some truth that you've never seen before, and then you mislead someone. And that's a tactic. I don't know, there's probably a name for that specific type of tactic, right? Gaslighting, I guess. But for them it backfired, because Zeitgeist set me on a path of unquenchable, just a search for knowledge, and every day I just have to feed that. I have to look for truth in all things. And I'm sure we all believe that we're that way to an extent, but most people think they think that, right? But it's based on how much time you put into that. Well, for me, I was obsessive about it, and I think that's putting it mildly. There were times when I would put in 18 hours. I'd wake up at 8 a.m. and I wouldn't go to sleep again until 4 or 5 the next morning. I couldn't stop watching these videos, and they took me down every single rabbit hole you could possibly imagine. If you've ever heard of a conspiracy, I've probably looked into it. And I brought it up again before, and I'll probably mention it again, that I have a truther channel that it just flipped 6,000. So I was really happy about that. I hadn't done anything with it for over 6 months. It was probably 3 or 4 months before I moved to the Philippines in January of 2024 that I had uploaded a video or anything, but it kept growing. The subscriber base kept growing, so I released a video or two this month. And the subscribers picked up about 500 subs this month. Close to it. Probably close to the 400 now that I think about it. 4 or 5. I say that like it's a big deal. I looked at a guy's page today that had 2.9 million And now it's just his Facebook page. Yeah, man, 2.9 million followers. 2.9 million people that care what you have to say. I'm tickled to death that there's a couple thousand. I have a video that did, I guess let's, you know, oh, I'm not trying to, anyway, I have one video that's, it's probably got 500,000 views. It's been shared on every platform, on sometimes 20, 30 different people per platform. On my site, on my one channel, it's got right at 70,000, close to 70,000 views. So, but it's, you add up all the views between all the channels it's been shared on, it's probably 500,000. So I was pretty happy about that. It's a big deal, you know. But I've been seen by more people. A little tidbit for you. I've been on. I've been an extra on. What was that show called? Oh God, hold on. There was a TV show called Burn Notice. They're very popular in the U.S., but they brought me back. I was on it 3 times, so they brought me back twice. And the last time I was on it. I got tired of going to try to, you know, break into acting. And I said, man, I'm not going in. This extra stuff is garbage. And my agent messaged me and said, no, we got a featured extra. You're going to be, you know, they're going to zoom in on your face and they're going to see your face, and you know, you're going to be the escape driver for the main character in Burn Notice. I said, all right, that was the last time, right? And the guy, you know, they put me in a car, and they didn't really talk to me much. They really didn't. They told me I was the escape driver. They said, hey, you're going to be the escape driver. So I'm literally in a running car, and the main guy comes running out of the building, and he jumps in the car, and there's cameras all around, right? And I know how to drive, man. I could drift a car all over the place. Well, I mashed it. We did a burnout, right? And they all come running out, you know, like out of the woodwork. Hey, stopping me, like trying to scold at me, like, hey, you know, you didn't have to do that. We didn't. I'm like, I'm a getaway driver. I'm trying to sell it. I'm an actor and a getaway driver. You hired me as a getaway driver. I'm gonna try to make it look like I was getting away. What do you want me to do? Just pull off and slowly drive away? But apparently I was a little too aggressive for him, and that was my last experience. But I did get some speaking roles. Not on Burn Notice, but oh my God, that was a dog earlier today. Now it's beef jerky. But it's funny, like I'll go back. I think I've watched them like once or like maybe twice, right? Like I never really went back, but there was one Burn Notice where they, you know, I'm right there in the mix. You know, I'm like one of the helpers. I'm a henchman, and I'm like right there at the mix at a table, you know, and I was a bad guy. It was interesting to see how I'd say Hollywood, but it's not Hollywood, it's Miami. I've been talking about slowing down. I got my daughter on back. I'm just gonna. This isn't bad. Sometimes you're just, man, eating these smog clouds. It's so thick. Like those should be illegal, right? When it's just blowing out plumes of black smoke, and you know, when it's just searing hot outside and you're stuck behind this dude, that should be illegal. But as long as they're not blowing out plumes of black smoke, I'm all right. That said, if I do have a big gap, I'm going to go around this guy because I can't see, right? And that to me is very frustrating. that has a lot. You can see what's coming at you. I can see farther down the road. I can be safer. I still think these are the coolest things. There's trikes. I almost bought a Bajaj. Almost. So close, right? So close. I ended up getting that little Suzuki you see in my driveway, that red espresso. But I almost got a Bajaj. They're like 200cc. I don't know how many gears they have, but you turn through the gears. It's interesting. You like turn the handle. So it's 550, and 550, the weather could not be better, man. Like this is, I could do this all day long. So you just have like 2 or 3 miserable hours where it's absolutely, and don't quote me on that, it might be 3 or 4, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. And somewhere in there that misery peaks, it tapers up and tapers down. But when you get to this, man, this is the Philippines that I absolutely love. People just, like, life's good for everybody right now, for everybody. Everybody's comfortable. Everybody's happy, everyone's eating, everyone's, you know, life's going on. This is like, it's such a cool thing, man. I don't know if he stopped me. I don't know. Thought that guy stopped me. It looked like he stopped me. I thought he did like that. Maybe I was wrong. But look at them. They're all smiling. Everyone's happy. Everyone's got a smile on. I mean, there's a degree of freedom. They're not as wealthy. Well, that's the wrong word. They're not as monetarily rich as the U.S., but give me this. I'll take it, man. I'll take less money. I'll take their lifestyle easily over that of a typical American. And people are catching on. There's people from all over the world, all walks. I still remember the first time I heard the term expat. I've never heard that in the U.S. I don't think I ever heard it in the military. I came to the Philippines. That was the first time I heard expat, an expatriate. And that was 2005. It's so long ago. And that's how they refer to us. But it's funny because we don't call them expats, right? Like you see a Filipino in the U.S., you don't exactly call them an expat, right? But here we're expats. I don't call a German guy living in the U.S. an expat. People out exercising, jogging, walking up casually. Man, how this takes you back to like the 80s when people were outside. When people went outside. Those were the good days. Drive to a neighborhood, you can drive to a neighborhood today and not see a single person outside. Not a one. Sometimes, you know, you feel connected to humans. You just go out and you feel like you're part of the mix. You can ride through downtown and there's people everywhere and life's happening, and that, it's not hidden life. It's not life underground, you know, it's not life in a bunker. It's life. Their living is going outside and interacting with people. funny because, you know, in the U.S., I really got hooked on, I went to that phase where I had all these expensive things. And, you know, I remember a time when I had 2 Corvettes. Not 1, but 2, right? Like, how wasteful and foolish is that? Just stupid, right? Like, I wasn't rich. Realistically, I couldn't afford them when I had them. Today, I don't, you know, just give me the cheapest car I can have for when it rains. I needed something for when it rains so I can pick up my daughter and take her to school. Other than that, this is all I need, man. This is it. And I think life should be that simple. We should enjoy the simple pleasures. And I say that it's a simple pleasure for me, right? I'm always thinking from an American point of view. I am American more so than anything. But some Filipinos would say I'm excessive. You know, I have a new scooter. You know, I'm blessed. I come here and I do consider myself blessed. I do. I really do. Thank God for everything I've got. But I'll call it simple, but there's, I'm sure, whatever percentage that is, wishes they had what I had. So I am a, you know, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Upper class. Don't care to be. There's just a few things I want. And if I have those things, I'm comfortable. I like. Oh, look at that beautiful moon. Look at that. Over Siquijor Island. That is... Absolutely love cosmology and astronomy. I care nothing for astrology. I think it's hilarious. It's laughable. But yeah, the study of the luminaries, absolutely. The study of the earth, absolutely. Look at their architecture, man. They mix indoor with outdoor. Very much so, right? Yeah, I'm not saying we don't occasionally do it in the US, but I mean here it's just how they do. Everything has that blend, right? They mix new with old. A little early, half an hour early. So I went to send a phone. You know, I recently quit my job and said, all right, I'm retiring. Oh, there's a whole group of people here. And I had to ship my phone and laptop back to the US, and no one would do it. Nobody. I mean, nobody. Not FedEx, not DHL, not LBC, not UPS. Nobody. They wouldn't ship the laptop. You have to take the laptop and I mean, you have to take the battery out of the laptop and cell phone. And the battery's not meant to come out of an iPhone 14 or whatever that is. So I lied about it in the iPhone, and sure enough, they x-rayed it at the airport and sent it back. All right, there's where I'm going. More to come. All right, another night of jiu-jitsu in the books. Good class, covered X-guard. What do you think, I'm gonna leave you? Man, that wind's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel really good. Come here, give me your hand. Got my mini-me with me. Another night at Tokai BJJ, great group. Very friendly. If you train jiu-jitsu, or you want to, you ever wanted to train jiu-jitsu, come in, man. These guys are as nice as you could be. There's no ego here. I mean, Really, really friendly group. Everyone's welcome. Tough guys, tough rolls. If you want to roll hard, they got a lot of expats come in. Foreigners come in from different countries and train. I don't know where my keys are. Okay, where are my keys? I think they're there. All right, 8:18 on the 23rd. I'll tell you, man, you know, wearing a watch is the most convenient thing in the world. I know I got my phone on me, and I used to depend on that for so long, but it's just so easy, right? It's just so easy to have a watch on. And useful, because you got the date instantly. You got the time instantly. I can see it at night, you know, just hit my little glow button. All right, look at there. I know the day, Thursday, the convenience of that. I'm all about convenience. Oh man, that feels good. Jeez, that feels so good. I'm about to pass out. I think we'll go the short way home because we can go that way now. Although we got to hit a little bit of traffic here. We won't go through, you know, what most people call downtown, or what I call downtown. I tell you, I talk about it, but that ADV, the camelback seat on the ADV just makes it like you're sitting on a big Softail Harley. I really thought about selling this bike when I first got it, because I would ride for 30 minutes and my tailbone hurt, my butt hurt, you know? The bone in my butt hurt. And then someone told me about the camelback seat, and I looked at it and I thought, well, okay, maybe I see that. You know, it really has more cup. It's more like it's sitting in a little spoon. And I said, I'll try it. It was 45 bucks on Lazada. I think it was like 2,400 pesos or something delivered, if I remember right. I found the cheapest one. And the best $45 I ever spent. Man, I can sit on this thing for 6 hours now. My butt doesn't hurt. Tomorrow night, I'm leaving at 11 at night and heading to Bacolod. So we're doing we probably won't get in until 5 a.m. or something. We're riding to the mountains. This is going to be crazy. What a nice video that's going to make. And I got to admit, that's a little, you know, riding to the mountains, you know, that's going to be scary as shit. Yeah, I'm a white dude. But the guy I'm riding with, he's an older guy. He's the judo instructor at Tokai. And if he feels safe about it, shoot, I feel safe about it. Negros is the land of gentle people. And if someone pulls me over to rob me, I ain't gonna fight. So take whatever you want, buddy. You can have it. Nothing on here is worth me not seeing my family again, you know, not. If you're willing to put a gun on me, I'm willing to give it to you. I just hope I don't see you on a street corner somewhere. Look at this. If I were in Cebu right now, this would be bumper to bumper all the way up to that light, and you'd be breathing in smog burgers. And these things get annoying, right? These electric bikes that don't do 30, they don't even do 20 kilometers. They ride in the middle of the road. And it's their country, it ain't mine, you know. But come on, man. At least ride on the side. I'm not here to change anything. I'm here to adopt, learn their culture, and try to fit in as much as I can. You really want to use a blinker there, buddy. Like, not the hazards, the blinker. Man, I saw this guy right up here, right on this corner. a month or two ago, and he was getting big rocks, and he was threatening them to throw them at cars. Like he'd run at the car and acted, he was a homeless dude, right? Obviously. All tan, straggly looking. And he was acting like he was going to throw his big rock on cars. And I was like, man, you know, we're both lucky it didn't happen to me, or it didn't happen to anyone I didn't see, but he was certainly acting like it. And this wind feels so good. Holy crap, I'm dry already. I guarantee you, if I didn't sweat off 3 pounds tonight, I sweated off 5. When I wring out my shirt, which a lot of it I left on the mat, right, before I wring it out, I could have filled a cup easily. I could have filled a cup full of sweat. Jiu-jitsu is as intensive as you want it to be, and I want it to be intensive. Like, I want a war. The biggest guy in the class, he was a white dude, looked like damn the star of Ragnarok, right? Looked like Thor himself. He's like, yeah, first roll, can I roll with you? I'm like, you got me about 50 or 60 pounds, easily 50, maybe 60, potentially 70. And nice guy, but he wanted to see if he could beat me. I'm like, bro, I'm 51, you know, but I did. He got the smoke. I mean, I'll tell you right now, he got the smoke multiple times. He got the smoke. You know, 23 years of jiu-jitsu is not easy to overcome. You may have a 400-pound bench press, but you better come with 8 solid years of jiu-jitsu with that size. You know, like, it's not easy to close the gap on 23 years of jiu-jitsu, and I've been passionate studying. I mean, it has been my passion for 20-something years. It has been, and I was always good at it. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, my coach did not believe I was new when I started. He actually thought I was lying to him. He actually thought I'd trained before. So I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I could tell more stories, but you know, in short, I was good. I was always above average. I love the ride, man. I do. I love it. I love it. I love being out on the streets at night. It's better when you're not behind anyone, when you just have the road, it's open. Ushi loves it. When I first got here, she nagged me. Yeah, can we go for a ride at night? She wanted to go for a ride. And I didn't mind. I mean, it didn't take much nagging. I was like, yeah, let's go. But I'm gonna go on a 5 or 6 hour trip tomorrow, and I'm just on a 160cc scooter, and it's plenty, you know, it's plenty. 160cc, there's no lights. You see that? No lights. And some of these things, they pulled the fairings off, and there's nothing shiny on it, an old dull, dirty black frame, and no lights. Yeah, so tomorrow night, 5 or 6 hour ride, 11 at night, get there at 5 a.m. Gonna stop and eat street corn, gonna eat some Filipino food on the way there. Super excited about it. And head back in the morning, around 10. He said, yeah, we're gonna sleep there. I'm like, I don't know where we're gonna sleep. We're gonna get there at like 5 a.m. And apparently, he said, yeah, like on a park bench or something. I don't know. He's like, we're gonna rough it, and I'm like, sweet. I think he's older than me, So if he can make it till 5 a.m., I can make it till 5 a.m. He looks like he's about 55 or 60. I could be wrong. One of the things I'm actively working on is slowing down my driving. Jules in the Philippines, which is an entertaining channel. I've spoke about him before. I like watching his channel. I don't watch all of his episodes, but I do like dropping by and seeing what he has to say. Because he's a free spirit and he says what's on his mind and he doesn't give a damn if you don't, you know. I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner. I mean that he's going to be him. You can see that about him. And I like that. I like people that are real. Very real. And as a result, I think his channel's doing pretty well. See, I almost couldn't tell this is an intersection. Even though I know it, I just kind of forgot about it. But he had a wreck, honestly. He got ran off the road, was in the hospital, and he was all bad. And I think you got to be constantly working on slowing down, right? You got to just take it slow and enjoy it. And this should be all we need right here. 50 kilometers an hour, that's like probably 30 miles an hour. If I go down at 30, I'll be fine. It's going to be hard to go down at 30, but that's really my goal, is to kind of keep it around 50 and to stop passing people when it's unnecessary. She was a white girl, not that it has anything to do with it, but what I thought was interesting is when I found out she was mestizo, or whatever you want to call her, her dad's Filipino, so she's like, oh yeah, I'm visiting Filipino, I'm visiting the Philippines because, you know, my dad's Filipino. I'm like, wow, you don't hear it that direction, you know, usually it's the mother's Filipino, but her dad was Filipino. I thought that was interesting. You don't see that all the time. Thanks for hitting me with them rides, buddy. As always, I went into class today not having any idea of what I was going to teach, which I never do. Any of the guys who trained with me knows. They're always like, Bobby, what are you going to teach today? I'm like, I don't know. What do y'all want to learn? I have a series for every position, and it's just what I teach. I know exactly, if you just call out the position, I know what I'm going to teach. One of the things I want to start playing is tennis. They have tennis courts in Valencia, and you always see the expats playing, and I'd like to pick up tennis just because you can find people to play you, right? Like jiu-jitsu, so many expats or older people are turned off to it. They really think it's a young man's sport, and it can be. Right? Yeah, just because MMA fighters do jiu-jitsu does not mean older people can. It can be a very technical, it can be like a game of chess. Look at this dude, man. Look at that. Just, man, like what the hell? Guy just had his brights on. It's like, what a douchebag. Riding through these little, you know, these little barangay center bars or whatever you call them, these little centers of town. Alcohol is a big part of their culture. They have this beer here called San Miguel. Stronger than most vodkas. I mean, I say that jokingly, but man, it's barely a beer. It's barely a beer. Of course, I grew up in America, right? Some Germans are probably like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a beer drinker, so I can't really testify as to how strong German beer is. Now, when I did go to Germany, you know, actually I used to go to Germany all the time. I'm not a drinker. But they have this drink called Glühwein, all right? I may be saying it wrong, I can't remember. Glühwein, yeah, Glühwein. And it's like an apple wine, it's like a beery wine with an apple flavor. And oh my gosh, it's delicious. It's like the most delicious alcohol I have ever had in my entire life. I'm so lucky they didn't have it in America, because I would have been a raging alcoholic. When that stuff hit my lips, I was just like, more, man, more. If that's the stuff they drink in like North, like, you know, Vikings or whatever, I get it, man, I get it. I'd have been a drunk. Glühwein, right? I haven't said it in decades. Glühwein. I haven't seen it in decades. Oh my gosh, I think it was 92 when I had that. What is this? 92, 2002, 2012, 32 years ago. Jeez. Talk about getting old. Man, one of my buddies, he got out of the hospital today. They wanted to do surgery on his hip. Hit a dog. Ran across the road in front of him. He was on a bicycle. So looking forward to tomorrow night, like 5 or 6 hours through the mountains. It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be dark, there's gonna be creatures, you know. Man, the other day, I didn't get it on film, but there was a snake crossing the road that was longer than the road. It was probably 12 feet, 15 feet long. The head on it was like big. I mean, the head was just a big, thick, pit bull looking head on a snake. I don't know crap about snakes, but I can tell you I didn't want to go near it. I have no idea what kind of snake that was. No idea. Dang, that was big. That was a big ass snake. You know what I was really scared of as a kid though? Like really scared of? I was always scared gargoyles. Gargoyles, yeah. Gargoyle movies were big when I was a kid, man. That was the big horror movie when I grew up in the 70s, and man, that's what we were scared of. Whoever had to leave whoever's house at night, you know, if I was the last one to leave, I had to go by these big ass trees, and man, I was running to make sure those gargoyles couldn't get me. Comment on this video if you were scared of gargoyles. Man, I'm gonna drink like a gallon of water. All right, we're here. Till next time.